Hello and welcome to this video. My name is Marco Nuyen and I'm a trainer at Microsoft. This video is part of a series of videos about the role of a Microsoft cybersecurity architect. In this video, I want to discuss assessments and scores. Discover how a Microsoft cybersecurity architect assesses your organization's security posture and learn practical strategies to strengthen defenses against evolving threats. How are we? This is our main question for the video. In what state is our environment? What do we know about it? But also, what do you know about your knowledge? What is it? Let's get started with a question. In what state is your enterprise from a security perspective? Is it good? Is it bad? Or is it, I don't know? I know it's a strange question, but it represents what I have encountered in the field of security. We often don't know. There's so much, and it is all getting connected. In other videos, I've said that it's important to get started somewhere. But we want to get an idea of the situation, and that is what this video is aiming at. Our learning objectives are assessments and scores. Assess the situation. On the slide I've listed some terms that come to mind when I assess something. A workload, implementation, a tenant, anything that an organization deploys for running their business. That also includes non-technical aspects. I was often dropped into a customer to assess, either driven by an incident or driven by some new tech being adopted into. I would typically start by assessing the situation, getting some situational awareness. What is there? Who are the stakeholders? I would have many questions that I will try to get answered. And this is something we would expect also of a cybersecurity architect. In that role, we need to talk with people, read documentation, inspect designs, and probe in live environments. We are looking for holistic understanding, and we are looking for mismatches. Is the deployment what is in the design? Why is something deployed without a design? What are the requirements and who owns them? Did anything change, or do things need to change? What do we have? How are things? Who is responsible? What happens if there's an incident? We will have many questions and many observations. Based on our findings, we will compose a holistic overview ourselves and start thinking of improvements and where to start, or ways to embrace and extend, get more information, and then advise improvements. We will look for examples and references, best practices, and getting into alignment with them. The video will cover different aspects, but I want to avoid repeating the same information in every video. That is why I've decided to have an independent video on assessing and scoring. Let's start with assessments, which we can leverage immediately. In the course and the videos, we cover frameworks like the well-architected framework and cloud adoption framework. For those and for many more capabilities, assessments have been created to simplify the process of understanding if elements of the framework are present in a turn-by-turn question approach. Based on the answers, you will get a score and an overview of elements where there's room for improvement. But if you go and do these assessments, you will notice that they're also highly informative. You are confronted with a question and will think, have we done this? Or maybe even, this is something I've never considered before. In essence, it will not only probe, it will also educate. You can do this for yourself, but think of what this would look like if you did it with a team, making it a workshop to bring people together. Use it as a conversation and education guide, and at the end there is an actionable score. It really is a great tool, and there's many interesting assessments on Microsoft Learn pages. An example from an assessment. Here I have an example from one of the assessments. It is from the Cloud Adoption Framework, the Security Review. Do you know all the components mentioned in the question? Threat modeling. Who are stakeholders? What's the SIS control framework? What is MITRE? What is classification of workloads? Based on simple questions here, we could spend a significant amount of time on the topics mentioned. And yes, you need to be familiar with everything here and in many other places from the certification perspective. Key takeaways to use assessments. For you, for your organization, it will help. Know what is there, know what you have, and then it can help decide to what and where to improve. But what about how we have implemented something? How is that aligned with what is the recommendation? It is a challenge to find recommendations, and it's even a bigger challenge to see if and how that recommendation is implemented. A couple of years ago, Microsoft started putting in effort to bring information about recommendations into tooling and project that onto a live environment. It will show what the recommendation is, where you deviate, and what you can do to get into a recommended state. With everything that matches, you get points that contribute to a score. Higher score, better. Lower score, more room for improvement. It takes making improvement points visible, actionable and traceable. It has evolved over time with more capabilities to assign to an owner, suppress or do things differently. But at its core, it has not changed. It has become an instrumental improvement driver in many organizations. For me, these scores are the first thing I want to inspect when I'm at a new environment. They immediately give me a feeling for what the state is. Higher, better, low, work to be done. They are also great for stakeholders, for stakeholder conversations. Everyone understands the score. Why did it go up? Why did it go down? Did we not get any extra people to address an issue? And why is the score not improved by doing that? Well, conversations. Making things visible and addressable, great! I love scores. You should do it too. Start using them and start making improvements through them. Now, where do you find these? In a couple of places. Also, in a couple of videos in the series you will see them, but in this video I wanted to expose the general concept of scores. That way we do not need to discuss it again and again in each single video. There are 3 scores that I would like to inspect together here briefly. Compliance, Defender for Cloud Secure Score, and Defender Extended Detection and Response Secure Score, Defender XDR, the ones we see here on the screen being mentioned. Also listed on the screen is over time. We want and need to understand how our score changes over time. Did it get better? Did it get worse? What was it last month? Are our efforts of improving, are they moving the needle? But let's look at some of the interface you can expect to see scores in. Microsoft Defender Score. We start with Microsoft Defender Score, which brings together advisories on threats, identity, endpoint, data, and applications through different connectors and Defender capabilities. It shows a score, but also lists every element that contributes to the score, or not. The services automatically keep track of scores, history, and have details on what made the score improve or regress. It will also project the score on top of the environment. That can help to decide on what needs to be prioritized. More on Microsoft Defender in another video. Defender for Cloud Score. What about our hybrid and multi-cloud deployments, our infrastructure as a service and platform as a service aspects of our IT environments? For that, we can leverage Defender for Cloud. The advisories that it is based on are derived from NIST, PCI, and CIS. These are aggregated into the Microsoft Cloud Security Benchmark, the MCSB, which helps us to get to a certain score. For a score over time, some additional work needs to be put in. These are configurable workbooks to help with that. Defender for Cloud will be a topic for another video. Compliance Manager Score. When it comes to getting a better understanding of compliance, we can leverage Compliance Manager from Purview. It is supplied with interpretation for many compliance frameworks and standards worldwide. And if we activate one of those templates, the technology will help us to understand where we need to put in efforts towards getting into a compliant state. More on compliance itself and on Purview in another video. We've come to the end of this video. What we looked at was assessments and scores. Both are great elements for your cybersecurity toolbox. Start leveraging them. So, thank you for watching this video. Now go and check the other videos in the series and online learning content to learn more, and I hope we meet in another video. Thanks again and stay safe.